Hello, it's Nikki, and welcome back to another Friday Favourites. I've got a bonus one for you today. I've actually got 6 instead of 5, but I couldn't decide, and I want to always give you all the good stuff. These are some of my favourite books. These are books that are either on my shelf or they've really impacted me. I've come back to them again and again. And I just think they're quite change. They change something. There's a transformation. And so often with these self-development books, sometimes because I've read so many of them, there's that sense of like, yeah, I've read something like this before. And at this age and stage, if I'm putting the time and effort into doing something, I want the transformation, baby. That's what I want. That's what I want. The first book that I want to talk about is The Kindness Method by Shahroo Izadi. I did this book in a journal. I did every single exercise. I went deep. I think it was at the beginning of the year or maybe last year. And I went through the whole process. I got up really early. I did it all on my sofa. And at times I wanted to run away and not finish the exercise or get distracted or do something else. But I sat with it and I did it. And I really got some answers from this book. It's one of those books that is perfect for you if you are ready to release stuff. If you know that you're at that age and stage where it's like, why is this obstacle coming up again? Or I feel heavy with this thing. And you can allow it to come out and to see it. And sometimes that process, it's ugly and it's hard and it's stretchy. But there's some relief in this book. Yes, I know, big promises, but it's wonderful. Shahroo was also on the Diary of a CEO, and the interview is great because you get an insight into her and her perspective and the context of this book. The second one is a book that I've literally finished this week. Excuse me. And I'm including this book because I know it will stay with me for a long time. It's called Rebel Rising by Rebel Wilson. It's her autobiography. And I got so much from it because I think it's easy to think that where you are right now and where you want to get to, it feels a long way away. And sometimes it will take years and months and weeks and days and hard works and knockbacks and yeses and nos and twists and turns and all of that. But I love the way that she told her story. It was totally in her turn of phrase rather. And I just got lots from it. I got that tenacity. I got the determination. I got the sense that sometimes you just got to keep doing the work. And I found it really uplifting and encouraging. And whether or not you want to be in the entertainment business as a producer or an actor or director or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can apply this to anything that you like. So I really loved reading her book. The third one, this book will always hold a special place in my heart, and it's called The Universe Has Your Back. I read it in 2018 and I used it as part of our process to welcome our daughter into the world. Now, whether or not you believe this, it's entirely up to you. However, if you are seeking some reassurance, you want to build a spiritual connection, you're looking for some solace or some guidance or some answers, The Universe Has Your Back is it's powerful. I will be forever grateful to that book. I can remember the whole process of reading it and going through the process, and it brought great things. It brought my girly, which again, yeah, I'm not gonna go on too much about that because it'll make me cry. Ovs. Okay, the final two are, oh no, there's three actually, three different authors that I want to mention, and it's all around money. And these have been some of my greatest teachers. And they have podcasts, they have YouTube channels, they're interviewed a lot, they have great free resources. So I'm not saying you have to go out and buy these books. However, I've read pretty much everything that they've all put out into the world, and they've been really impactful in terms of money because for most of us, we were not taught how to charge what we see that we're worth, or negotiate or make large amounts of money in an easeful way. We are redefining this narrative very much so. So the first author is Jen Sincero, and she wrote one of my favorite money books. I recommend it to everybody. I bought it so many times for friends, for clients, or recommended it, and it's called You're a Badass at Making Money. I love the fact that she is 40 when she writes this, and I think there's so much emphasis on youth and, when you're 21 or you're doing this, and actually having children or twists and turns in many of my friends or adults that I know life, money is constantly a conversation. I have this in person. It's on my shelf over here, but also I listen to it, and she reads it, Jen, because we're pals now, and her narration is literally that kind of that nudge, that reminder of like, you can do this, this is all possible, and that's a really brilliant thing. The final two are Rachel Rodgers. I've got so much from her content over the years because she is the most enormous big dreamer, and she talks about like 7 figures, 8 figures, like doing these things, and I don't have an 8-figure business yet. But there's something in her energy and being in that conversation that you just like, yeah, of course my time is coming. Of course, this is possible. Yeah, right, let's go. So all of her books are fantastic. We Should All Be Millionaires. There's one about habits. Her podcast is brilliant. She started doing lots of live coaching, and yeah, it's amazing. Finally, Denise Duffield Thomas. You might be familiar with her money books. She wrote Lucky Bitch. What are the other ones called? Chillpreneur. I can't remember what the others are called. There's a couple of others, I think. Again, her podcast is fantastic. Her free content. If you can ever get to watch a free webinar of how she sells, I would highly recommend it. And how money is very much, as well as being an outside job of spreadsheets and accounting and contracts and all of that sort of stuff, is very much an inside job as well. So I hope you get lots from those books. I will link them all down below. Check them out. It goes without saying, I've read them all. It's not an assistant or a robot who's like, okay, just like send some over my desk. These are my personal favorites. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sharing them with you. I'm not obligated to share these either. I just absolutely love them, as I do with all my favorites. Have a lovely week, whatever you're doing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, to the playlist, especially if you like these Friday favorites, but also for the other content as well, I would love you to do so. Lots of love. See you soon. Bye.